Namaste. A warm welcome to you all. I'm Jayapalashri from Samskara Healing, and my talk continues. As I talk about Ravan and I spoke about the Ravan Samhita. I've spoken about the 10 faces, which could be the things like Kama, Krodha. I also spoke about which is also includes the Vedas and the Sutras. So I did speak about all these things. But now I come to the point where I'm talking about the Shiva Tandava. Shiva Tandava was sung by Ravan to Lord Shiva. And we know the story, I'm sure. And I also spoke about it, I think in episode 2 or 3, where I spoke about the Shiva Tandava. So just to kind of again speak about it before I move into explaining the Shiva Tandava Stotra. When Ravan wanted to bring Lord Shiva to his palace and keep him with him, and when Shiva declined, he decided to bring the mountain itself so that Lord Shiva would have to reside in the mountain in the palace. So when he went about to lift Mount Kailash, Lord Shiva just pressed his little toe and crushed Ravan below Mount Kailash, and he was stuck. And that's when Ravan sang praises for Lord Shiva. And that's what Shiva Tandava Stotra is all about. It's easy for me to, just take the gist of it and just explain it in my own words, but I wouldn't do justice to it. So I'm going to be reading it off, but I'm giving you the English meanings so that it becomes easy for you all to understand. So bear with me, because I'm going to be looking and reading and discussing the same things together with you. This session is going to be slightly different. To start off with, I did say that Ravan was an intellectual person. I also said that he was a scholar. He's written books. So on that note, he was a scholar in Navyakarna, which is in the grammar. He knew the 9 types of Sanskrit grammar. So keeping in mind that Ravan wrote the Shiva Tandava Stotra, the idea behind when does a Shiva do his Tandava Stotra is when the creation is coming to an end, and when everything has to come to an end. It is believed that through this Tandava Stotra, the Tandav, which is created by Lord Shiva, there are certain energies created which destroys and brings everything back to the space of being void. So that is what it's all. The Shiva Tandav is all about. But I'm going to go in detail talking about Ravan, how he has described and what has he spoken and how he praised the Lord, who he was an ardent devotee of. Not only am I feeling blessed that I had the opportunity I have been hearing the Shiva Tandava Stotra for a very long time, but I never took the time to even really understand. I knew it was in the praise of the Lord. Beyond that, I never took time or the interest to understand what it meant. I knew Ravan had sung it to Lord Shiva, and beyond that, there was nothing that I knew. But as I had promised you all that I would come up here to speak about it, and when I read about it, I felt so blessed. I'm honestly telling you that I was chosen to come here and speak. And for me, I'm not saying that many people have not done it. There are many people who know the meaning and many people who explain the meaning. So I'm not kind of saying anything beyond that. But nevertheless, I felt blessed and truly humbled and honored that I have the opportunity to actually sit across on a live session and describe the meaning of the Shiva Tandava Stotra. And I feel that is really a blessing to me. And I thank Lord Shiva for giving me this beautiful opportunity in his own way. Though I have spoken about his ardent devotee, Ravan, and also this is sung by his devotee, Ravan, but still allowing me to reach to the stage where in episode 6 I am talking about it is something very, very dear to my heart. And from my heart, I bow down to the Lord for giving me this beautiful opportunity. So as I start talking about the Shiva Tandava Stotra and things like that, please, I'm going to be reading it out to you all. From the forest of his mated lock, water flows and wets his neck, on which hangs the greatest of a snake-like garland. and his drum incessantly plays damat, 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 damat. And Shiva is engaged in the very vigorous, manly dance to bless and shower prosperity on us all. The celestial river agitated, moving through his matted hair, which makes his head shine with those soft waves, and his forehead shining like a brilliant fire, dhaga, dhaga, dhaga. And the crescent moon, which is an ornament to his head, makes his mind love each and every second. The consort of the ever-supportive daughter of the mountain, whose mind rejoices at her side long glances, with the stream of merciful look which removes hardships, make my mind take pleasure in him who wears the direction as apparel. He with the shining lustrous gem on the hood of the serpent entwining his mated locks, he who with his bride whose face is decorated by the melting of red saffron kumkum, and he who wears on his shoulder the hide of the elephant which was blind with ferociousness, makes my mind happy and content in him who is the leader of the Bhutas. Bhutas is the one who kind of takes care or is the guardian of the guardians of Mount Kailash. May he whose footstool is decorated by the ever-flowing flower dust, falling the bent head of Indra and other gods. And may he whose mated locks are tied by the kings of serpent, may he whose head is decorated by the crescent moon, who a friend of Chakora is a mythical bird, lives by drinking moonlight, shower prosperity ever on me. May he with the raging fire in his forehead, who burnt the god of love, may he who forever being saluted by the king of devas, may he who was collected the cool ambrosia like a crescent moon on his head, and may he who wears a collection of skulls bless us to create wealth for us all. May he whose dreadful forehead fire burns, dhaka, 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 may he who burnt the one with 5 arrows as an offering to fire, may he who is the only one who can write the decorative lines on the tip of the breast of the daughter of the mountain, may he with the 3 eyes make mind enjoy in him the god of love. May he whose black neck is as dark as several layers of new clouds packed closely on the night of a new moon, may he who wears the celestial river on his head, may he who killed the Gajasura with the elephant head, may he who is very handsome because of the crescent that he wears, may he who carries the entire burden of the world bless us with all sorts of wealth. I salute him who shines with the black neck, similar to the well-opened blue lotus, on which all the temples depend for prayer, and him who destroyed the god of love, the 3 cities, the worldly problems, and the Yaga destroyers, and him who destroyed the elephant-faced Asura, and also the god of death. Victory to great Lord Shiva, who has the burning fire in his forehead, which is increased by the breath of the snake wandering in the sky, and to him who dances to the changing tunes and the fierce sound of dhimi 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 coming out of the auspicious drum. When I will be able to worship that eternal Shiva with a feeling of equanimity towards the snake and a garland, towards the great gems and the dirt or friends and enemies, and towards the blade of grass and lotus-like eyes, or emperor and ordinary man. When will I live the life of pleasure meditating on Shiva, sitting near a hollow place near the celestial river Ganga, releasing all my bad thoughts and with the hands clasped over my head, after releasing all passion for the pretty woman with shifting eyes, this greater than greater prayer, if read, remember or reciting daily by man, will make him pure and eternal. And he would be the devotion to Lord Shiva leading him to salvation, for remembering the Lord is a sure method of removal of detachment. He who sings this song composed by the 10-headed one at the end of every worship, reads it after worship of Lord Shiva, will get the blessings of Lord Shiva and all the wealth that's awaiting for him. It's a beautiful, beautiful translation. I chose to translate it because I don't think I would do justice if I were tried to recite it in Sanskrit. I hope it was lovely for you all to listen to it. I feel honored and blessed that I took out time to even understand the translation and bring it together and share it with you all. I hope you enjoyed it. And with this, I'm more or less coming to the end of talking about Ravan. Tomorrow, I would put in the conclusion of it. So thank you so much for being with me, and I honestly love the feedbacks I have been getting. I never expected to get this kind of support, encouragement for me to even come up to this episode. Thank you, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Good day. Namaste.